Welcome to my 100 subscriber stream. I have hit a major milestone for myself, 100 subscribers. So each and every one of you who has subscribed to my channel, thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your support. I just feel like jumping on live today because guess what? I feel good. I've hit my first major milestone as a YouTube presenter or as somebody who is now checking out what is happening in the YouTube streets. And guess what? I like it. Throughout the time that I've been making videos primarily aimed at furnishing young men specifically, but also young people on a whole, or people who just need someone to talk to, someone to talk to give them a certain level of guidance. I have met some wonderful people in the YouTube streets. I have been lucky enough to meet so many wonderful content creators. And trust me, you all know yourself. Amethyst, Titanium, all of these people. I've been lucky enough to chat with Uncle Stu. I've been lucky enough to be checking out TLA. I've been lucky enough to be checking out Poor Man Podcast. All of these guys who are legends in the YouTube streets. Thank you so much. I know I haven't done any collaboration as yet, but I'm still just working on kind of crafting, kind of getting a little bit of info here and there, some tips, some tidbits, some information, how to make my presentation even better. So thank you all for all your assistance. Once again, 100 subscribers, first milestone I've hit so far, and I am so proud. My goal was to hit it before the end of July, and I actually made it on the 2nd of August. All right, cool. They have said that the first 100 is usually the hardest to get. Once you've hit that milestone, it's like an upward trajectory for you. Thank you so much for checking out Titanium. I was just speaking about you, man. Thank you so much for checking out. Get the evil twin inside and let's mess around. The link is up top if you want to come up and chop it up a bit. I have nothing specific I want to talk about today. I just want to, speak to how proud I am of my first 100. All of that. And how I am trying to make the presentation and the information even more relevant to my target audience. Now, as I said, I have nothing specific I want to talk about. I just want to come live for a couple of minutes so I can record my feeling and say, yeah, I have hit 100 subscribers on the date of, honestly, I don't even remember today's date, I don't even remember the date. I really have to check. And I was at work today. Today is the 2nd, Tuesday, the 2nd of August. I have hit 100 subscribers. Thank you so much for coming up, Titanium. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Well, congratulations on the 100.
Definitely, man. It feels good. It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good, man. Yeah, feels good. I had to kind of campaign a bit for the last one. I was stuck at 99 over into August, and I was like, man, I need to get it. I need to just campaign a bit more for that one, and I got it.
Yeah, man, that's good.
Good.
I was wondering why you kept changing your schedule. I was like, why you keep changing the schedule?
Man, I just want to see that 100 there. I just want to see 100 even number. It looks good.
Yeah, I even wrote you. I was like, man, he ain't even write me back.
Oh my! I actually saw it. I saw that, but it was like today. I think I saw it this morning.
Yeah.
I think I saw it this morning. Yeah, and I was like, man, I know I really should have gone live yesterday. But the challenge I was having is that my neighbor was actually having a party. So there was a lot of noise in the background and so on. So I really couldn't, go out and have it sorted out the right way.
Did you go over there and at least get some food?
Nah, it was just a kids' party, man. It was a kids' party.
They have food at kids' parties.
Yeah, they have food, but I didn't to mess around. At the time, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm not gonna be going live today, so instead, just let me go cook some food and so on. So I went and cooked and all of that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was good. That was it for me. Thank you so much, Kimon. 100. So you know we are gonna be going places, and you're coming with me.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So I went and cooked, and I have a couple of things planned because here's oh my god, I just keep messing up sometimes. I had what I wanted to talk about was trauma and how people deal with trauma. And it was
Okay.
coming from a case where so recently there was a situation where a young man deleted his cousin and her 4 kids. Literally at that's here here in Jamaica.
Okay.
And it so happens to have been one of the parishes that I have a lot of family. I was living there for quite a while as well. So I was like thinking, I mean, what is really going on? What is happening to us, as a people, as a nation as well? And how what is it what is happening in, is it a case that since we have started to move from out of the 70s into the 80s, is it a case that we are just literally getting so much more violent? We have no space for grace. What is happening? And when I read the news and I get the full details of what's happening, I mean, it's something that you can actually, it was a disrespect, what we call a diss. Someone felt disrespected and felt the need to delete his cousin and her 4 kids. And I was actually looking, and when I saw a video of the father of the kids looking into the casket of each one of his kids one at a time, I was like, damn, how you deal with that? What could be going through your mind at the moment? So that was like a big eye opener for me, and I was like, how do you really wrap your mind around this? So that was it for me, and I wanted to just have a discussion surrounding it, because I know that even in your culture a lot of this may be happening as well, because I mean what happens, what we hear happening in America is more what you call them, the mass shootings and all of that.
Yeah, but so, mass shootings here are rare. But in a situation that you spoke of, a lot of times there's like some anger or resentment that comes from somewhere that wasn't addressed, that wasn't, because usually, some kids, they have bad tempers, and the parents that really stay on the kids with the bad tempers, when the kid grows up, he tends to be a little even keel. He doesn't get as mad as much. He doesn't get to the point of, rage like this person. And so there could have been something that, he probably didn't grow up in the best conditions. Number one. Number two, it could have been an issue with money. As you know, families will fall apart and people will fight and everything when it comes to money. The only other thing I can think about, it could be drugs. And I don't know if it's, I don't know what it's like, down there where you are, but, from what I've seen up here, the drugs and the money thing a lot of times can be related.
Yeah, I mean, here we are starting to see drug problem as well, even more so, because what we normally consider as drug here is usually just marijuana, but more and more people are now deviating to the party drugs, you know, and the grape drugs. A lot of people are now deviating to those, so we see a lot of those coming down, and people starting to indulge now.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know, man. But my challenge is though, as let's say the father of these now deceased kids, how does one cope? You know,
He's
what
gonna have to
what
get
are the
therapy. That
yeah
any type of death, depending on how close you are with the person, it is hard. It's hard to deal with. Like if you lose a parent, you expect to lose a parent, but like your mom and stuff, that's something that it kind of heals over time, but that's something that you never forget, and that's something you never truly get over. But as a parent, to lose a kid, I don't have any kids, so I couldn't even imagine the type of pain that person is going through. But yeah, he's gonna have to, if he doesn't have a strong family base or a strong community, he's gonna have to I would recommend him get some counseling, which is okay, to kind of help them go through that, because you don't want him to be in a situation whereas he, number one, becomes enraged, just like the person that
that did it
that his
initially.
children, and then you don't want him to be stuck in a certain situation where he gets it so depressed that he stops being productive, because that happens
True.
too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, he's gonna have to, I mean, it don't matter where the counseling comes from, whether if it's like a professional counselor or like a nonprofit or a religious organization, but as long as he gets the help.
yeah. Because man, he looked like a zombie right there. He looked like a zombie. Trust me. And I mean, everyone has their trauma that they have passed through. Because for me, sometimes when you lose members of your family, it is difficult. It's difficult, and if you don't have that community surrounding, if you don't have that community um, that bond with people who can actually look out for your best interest and have a certain level of understanding of what you are going through, it can be difficult. And this is some of the reasons why, as you mentioned, people becoming unproductive. They have just given up on life. So that is like a worst case that you don't want. Another thing is some people can get, the term I want to use is revengeful and anger, because even when you have your hand on the pulse of the people who are seeing what is happening, looking at the news and understanding and hearing, people get so enraged. A lot of people want to say, look, jungle justice, just put him on the street so the people can have their way with him. Give him to the family so the family do what they want with him. The rage. We have so much pent up rage within us.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
So
right. So wait, when did this happen?
this happened about a month ago.
Oh,
About a
okay.
month ago. About a
Okay.
month ago. Yeah.
Did they start the trial on this?
I think he's incarcerated at the moment.
Okay.
I think he admitted he admitted to doing the deed, and he went and he spoke as well as to his mindset when what caused it. So there is that as well. But
Oh,
man,
wow.
whichever way you look at it, man, it's painful and it's hurtful, and
Yeah.
and um, you know, and sometimes it's good to have an idea of because the challenge is you never know when something that close and that traumatic can hit home a bit closer than you expect. Something that you would never think of happening, but then it comes home to roost for you. So how do you handle it? What is the coping mechanism you have in place? What is your support system like? You know,
Yeah.
so it's tough, man. It's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unequal Perspective TV, welcome. 2022, no one puts value on God anymore. The hope of a nation is in the hands of non-religious counselors and therapists. And as you mentioned, that is one of the aspects as well. When you speak about counseling, you know, speak with a pastor, or someone who is able to give some counseling, because the counseling that he needs, I believe, is going to be maybe like a lifetime or years worth of counseling.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to get back to that place where you can, it's going to be hard to get back to that place where you can, one, forgive, because forgiveness is a place where many people find hard to go.
Yeah. And personally, I think that for a pastor, I think the initial counseling can be short term, but if he's going to need something longer term, he's going to need like a specialist. And the only reason why I say that is because, pastors are kind of like general practitioners. They do a little bit of everything. They do sick and shut-in visits, they do grief counseling, then they have to study and teach their organization. And so he may need somebody that kind of specializes in grief counseling. So I mean, there are religious based counselors out there. That would probably be the best bet. But as far as like a pastor long term, I don't know if that would be the best course of action, because they kind of generalize in everything.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, they won't be able to do the deep dive that may be necessary to bring out certain of the to take him to that place where he needs to go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's gonna be for Friday. You know what
Okay.
was strange? I don't know if you know the business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I was on that show last night, man. Trust me. I saw some people triggered by the comments we were having last night, by the topic last night. Man, I've seen women triggered, but last night was something else. So the topic was if a baby mama can be a 10.
Can I be honest with you?
Man, trust me.
My entire life. You know how many 10s I've seen my entire life?
Maybe two.
I've only seen 2 10s my entire life. And when I mean 10s, I mean like a woman so beautiful that you're walking and you're walking with a purpose, and you see her and you just stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by 10. I don't mean like, oh yeah, is she a real pretty girl? Let me go ahead. No. One girl, she was so fine. I forgot that I was walking and I walked right into a pole.
Damn. Man, she got you, man. She got you, bro.
And look, I couldn't even try to, now that I'm older, looking back, I could have kind of played the sympathy role. But back then, I was in my early 20s and I was a little bit awkward, man. And doing something like that, it's like, oh man, let me get out of here because I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, man. Listen, the 20s are tough, bro. The 20s were tough. You're just trying to know yourself. You don't know. You're socially awkward when it comes to women. 20s are really tough, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I came out of my my awkwardness with women. Yeah, in my 20s.
Yeah.
I really hit a stride in my when I was in my mid 20s, I was involved in a serious relationship. and I really hit a stride because I was actually working full time and going to school full time trying to graduate. So I was really in a stride, and then literally between working and going to school, after I graduated, I literally moved into my first place like 30 days after I graduated.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's how aggressive it was for me. But yeah, back then, oh man, running into that pole, yeah, I was a little bit too embarrassed for that girl to come over. But
So you had to get out, huh?
yeah. Now
Yeah.
I would have just played. Oh, I would have played it off a little bit and then act a little tough, stuff like that, and then tried to get her
Yeah.
number. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that would give you a better chance of getting a number as well. Being
Yeah.
tough and playing it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
But the discussion was, I mean, can a baby mama be a 10? Can a single mother be a 10? And trust me, there were 2 single mothers on the panel, and man, they're like, we can still be 10s, because men should be, for want of a better term, men should be honored to be stepfathers. Like, whoa. Like, whoa.
yeah. Listen, I'm
Right?
not against being a stepfather. I'm not. Here's the issue though. If the respect of the man of the house is not there, it becomes pointless. Because if you're
Exactly.
expecting me to provide for your child and believe me, people are like, oh well, no, he got a dad that provide. No, if you have custody of him and I'm married to you, that means I have custody of him and he's going to be spending majority of the time here at the house. So I am providing for him. So if when he messes up, I can't discipline, you get on me for disciplining him. And I don't mean spanking. Discipline is discipline. If I can't discipline him, if I can't chastise him, and you jump on me because I told you he messed up, yeah, that's what makes being a step parent non-rewarding.
Yeah. But so here's my thing. Everything being equal, 2 women, both beautiful, just about, let's say they are identical twins, but one has a child and one is childless. And because to me, this is what it comes down to. If I were to choose, would I choose a single mother over a woman who has no kids? So that is the decision that it came down to me, and that is how I was looking at it. And I would choose a woman who has no kids over one who has kids, because not to take away from the mother, but I think it's a better deal having a woman with no kids. Let's
Oh,
let's
it is.
move let's move in parts. Let's move
It
in
is.
parts.
Listen, you even got women nowadays talking about they don't even want a man with kids, and they got 2 or 3.
Exactly.
And you know what it is? I remember the first time I heard a girl say that, and I asked her, I said, how can you say you don't want a man with kids and you got a kid? But there was an older guy I was talking to, and he was like, it sounds like she doesn't want the competition, which is true. They don't want any they want exclusivity. They want exclusivity to your resources. They want exclusivity to your body, and they don't want to have to deal with they don't have to go through the whole mate guarding process.
Yeah.
So usually, usually a woman without kids is gonna be a better. Well, it's not even usually. A woman without kids is gonna be a better deal. It is. I mean, it just is.
Okay, let me take this comment from a religious angle. She is still a 10. In the dating marketplace, it's not possible. She's not a 10. Okay, in the dating marketplace, that's not possible. She's not a 10. Okay, fine. So basically, from a religious perspective, if the mother has kids already, it would be based on the relationship, I would think. But in the dating marketplace, it's different once there's a child involved. The 10 is degraded to maybe a 9 or an 8.
Well,
But
I'll put it to you like this. Yeah, in the religious market, she could still be a 10. But here's the thing, and this is a reality. God forgives. People are not so quick to forgive.
and that's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
So,
difference.
and I mean, we kind of look at things differently than what God does, But I mean, truth be told, God forgives, and people are not so quick to forgive. And it's not, like I said, it's not so much because, listen, I am a step kid. My mom remarried, my dad remarried, and even my grandmother had remarried. So I'm a step kid. I know what it's like. But I had a discussion with my grandmother, and I told her, it's rough, dealing with a woman with kids because the respect isn't there. And she looked at me like, what do you mean? I said, grandmother, it's not one, because we called him our grandfather because that's what we knew him as our grandfather. I said, it's not one day did I ever come into this house and we were not allowed to come into the house and not address him because he was the man of the house. We never were able to do that. She would make sure we went back no matter where he was. He could have been in the den, in the garage. We had to address him before we sat down. But you just don't, in households today, you just don't see that. You don't see that level of respect. And that's the burden that's the issue. Not so much a burden, but that's the issue men are saying when we deal with single mothers. We don't get the respect. You want us to provide and be the man of the house, but we don't get the respect because it's bad enough because the kids are going to try you. You're going to hear that no matter how much respect you get, you're going to hear that you ain't my daddy.
Yeah.
You're going to hear that.
And that's the thing, though. I don't think a step parent can break the bond between a child and the biological father. That's a challenge. You cannot come between that, regardless of what the father has done. He or she still has that bond with the father, with the biological father.
That's not true. I gotta challenge you on that one.
Okay.
I gotta challenge you because in issues of parent alienation, anytime a parent speaks bad of the other parent, you can break that bond. You can develop that bond. You can develop that relationship to one where he hates his biological father.
Man.
And let me tell you, because kids are smart. Kids know, and I have a friend who, she was a single mother, married a guy, great guy that the guy married, right? He invested a lot into those kids, right? One day he found some paperwork. I mean, he found a paper that one of the boys wrote for school, and he read it, and it was called "Who My Hero," and so he was like, "My dad is my hero," and he said a couple of other things, but he made mention in the paperwork that when he was talking to some of his friends, he was talking about some of the stuff that his dad, meaning my friend, his stepdad, did. But then he had said, "Oh, but I think my real dad overheard me say those things." And so, yeah, he spoke highly of the stepdad, but he's aware who his dad is, but he spoke highly of the stepdad because the stepdad has invested just as much, if not more, into the kid.
Yeah.
So like one of the things he talked about, because the stepdad's a truck driver, he talked about how, you know, he would go on trips. He would go on some of the road trips to pick up loads and stuff with him. You know, that's something that he never did with his real dad. He didn't spend that kind of time. So he got to see a lot of the country that way.
Okay. And
Yeah.
something similar came up last night as well. Where one lady was saying that her one of her partners was a
Mhm.
boxer and was teaching her son to box and all of that, and he became interested in the sport. And it came down to, now that you and that guy has broken up, does he still get access to the child to continue teaching? And she was like, hell no. So I believe this is where the disconnect comes in sometimes,
Yeah.
because once the stepfather no longer has access to the mother, the link between whatever bond he made with the child, especially if he's below a certain age where he can't make his own decisions or be on his own, that link gets severed. So he basically has lost out all the investment he made in that child.
Oh
You know,
yeah, and you know what? That's where you hear a lot of women talking about something. Oh no, it's gonna be a while before any man meets my kid. And what it really comes down to is they don't want to, because kids, they kind of attach themselves to people that invest in them, and women don't want to answer the question. Well, whatever happened to so and so? They don't want to deal with that.
true, that's
So
true.
yeah, and
Bec-
so
because
like if
because
if,
that
if
that in itself is a question that can be dicey. It would be the same thing if the child were to say, "What happened to my dad? What did you do with my dad?" Because many kids come up and have a resentment to the mother, um, because they think that the mother pushed the daddy away.
Oh yeah, man. Look, when I was a
Oh man.
I was kind of a bad kid growing up. So whenever I would get in trouble and my mom would spank me, I would get back at her and say, I want my daddy. Well, my mom being bigger than me, she would turn around and punish me even harder for saying that.
Man. Man, because maybe what she's saying is, I mean, here is the person that is here with you, that is investing in you. You know, um, why would you be asking about someone who is not here? But
No, that wasn't it.
okay,
That wasn't it. They whatever happened, I don't know. Whatever happened between them, it got to a point where they couldn't stand each other. So
okay.
I don't
Okay.
know look, I don't know the details. I stay out of grown folks' business, but
As you should. As you
yeah.
should.
So yeah, they just couldn't stand each other. It got to a point where they couldn't stand each other.
I'm sure. I'm sure you saw that comment.
What?
While he's here. While he's here.
Oh.
Oh man.
My evil twin gonna get you, Wally.
Tell him to come on up. Come on up, Wally.
Come on
The
up,
link is
Wally.
the link is tagged up top. Come on up, man.
Yeah, man, this is the manpower meeting. Come on up.
Yeah. It's my 100 subscriber day, man. Come on up. Let's chop it up a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
he about to start DJing for us in a little bit.
Really?
I'm talking about you.
Okay. Oh, me? Oh no,
Yeah.
no, man. That's not me, man. That's not me. Well, I actually have another channel that I played music, like
Oh,
like a DJ. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I have another channel that I would DJ, but I no longer have the DJ equipment, so That channel is not active right now.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, hold on. He's coming to get you.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as, I mean, here's the thing. Now, here's what a lot of women don't realize. When it comes, they really don't know what men want. They project what they want in men and project it onto themselves and think we should think the same. But
Yeah.
more so than beauty, women think, oh, I just got to be beautiful and every man want. No, there's one thing that men want more than beauty,
Yep.
and that's their
All right.
chastity. That's their chastity. So the lower the body count is, the higher value a woman is to a man.
Yep. 100%. And the thing is, women don't understand because their mind is not wired the way ours is.
And that's
They're not-
fine. They should think the same way we think. We're made to harmonize with each other. We're not made to be equals. We're made to harmonize with each other.
Exactly. It's like if you check out when a lion takes over a pride, a lion is never gonna be a stepdad. You know?
You doggone right, because they're gonna kill them cubs.
Exactly. A lion is never gonna be a stepdad. You know, but we think differently. Men and women do. We think differently. And I believe that it is in our different, there lies our power. There lies the power of the unity when the men and the women are thinking differently. Because men are logical. So, and I was saying it to a young lady today at my 9 to 5. I said, look, here is how we think. If you come home and you say, man, I had a rough day and this girl at work, she always, and I don't like her and all of that. Within a couple of minutes, we're going to say, okay, what are you going to do about it? That is how we think. Present us with a problem and we will figure out how to solve the problem or make the situation more favorable. Sometimes the lady just wants to vent. She just wants us to listen.
Yeah.
You know? And that's a challenge with many of us. Present us with a problem and we immediately go into that mode. How can I make this better?
Yeah. And you know what? You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. And I think a lot of men do this, but they're not gonna admit it. So when a woman starts venting, we'll ask a question or two. And then she continues to vent. We kind of like turn on the mute button.
We zone out.
Kind of, huh?
We zone out.
Yeah, we kind of turn on the mute button.
We all do it. We all do it. Because once you realize that she doesn't want you to speak or tell her steps that she can take to make the situation better, basically what we're saying is, okay, fine. Honey, you didn't hear what I just said just now. What? Okay. Oh, yeah. Yes. We didn't hear shit.
Right. We listen with half an ear.
Exactly. What we're like, what time does that match start again? Oh man. You know,
right.
That's what we're thinking about.
Right.
It is the way that we as men can compartmentalize stuff. Right. And this is why there's such a difference between when a man cheats and when a woman cheats. Because most times sex is like just for many of us, it's a physical thing. You know?
Yeah.
More physical than emotional. When it comes to women, it's the other way around. You can have sex with her before you get into the house. You know, she can have a mental orgasm just by you talking to her and getting her ready for you to get home.
Oh yeah, that's why they tell you your biggest sex organ is your brain. Nothing else.
Yes.
Nothing else. You cater to a woman because they always talk about we have egos. They got egos too. They like that validation.
Yeah.
You send flowers to a woman's job and get her girlfriends and coworkers talking. Oh man,
man,
oh,
you got more cheeks than you can handle, man.
man, look, and
And the
and you
thing
know,
is,
look, listen, you know, you got a real one when you show up to her job and they know who you are before you hit the door.
mm-hmm. So, yep. For example, they can say, "I know you who you're here for. She's at here or she's at lunch or whatever the case. They know
Right,
who you're for because
right.
she speaks about you so much. And this is sometimes in the women speaking so much about your prowess. Sometimes this is what gets them into trouble as well. Because most women, their biggest their biggest competition is their best friend when it comes to trying to steal her man from her. Biggest competition is the best friend. Because when she's ready to brag and tell her friend about all the stuff that you do for her friend, who more than likely is single, wants some of that action.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. There's some brothers that do the same thing, dude.
Yep.
There are some there are some brothers that do the same thing, man. That's why you be
Man,
hearing stories of one brother cheating, one brother taking the girl's wife and cheating and stuff like that. And I think somebody on YouTube was telling a story about a set of twins. The wife was married to the one guy. He was either, I can't remember if he either was in jail or he was in the military. And oh no, he was in the military. She wound up pregnant, and they ran
oh,
the DNA test. The DNA matched. So the guy was on Gail's channel. The DNA
yes, I
matched.
remember it. I remember
Right.
it now.
DNA matched, but the DNA matched because they were twins. So they had to start asking like additional questions. And then it
And
came out that he cheated, that she cheated with the twin brother.
yeah. Yeah, that was on Gail's channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the guy was in the military and he had proof to say, at this point, I was deployed.
Yeah.
And I think it was a case where he was still being sued for child support.
Right.
And even after he brought evidence to show that he was deployed at the time, and the lawyer came in and said she asked additional questions. And I mean, a simple thing as, do you have a twin? And that is how the case was solved. So while he was deployed, she was having fun with the twin brother, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I was just explaining to a young lady. I said, man or woman, I said nobody cheats when they're completely satisfied within a relationship. They was like, no, that's not true. That's not true for men. Men just do things. I said, no. I said, when a man is completely satisfied in a relationship, he will not cheat. So I said, if you find yourself in a situation where men are constantly cheating on you, you need to find out, what are you lacking? What needs are you lacking that you can't fulfill, that these men are all going out and cheating on you?
Yeah, but the challenge is, though, so very few of us can self-reflect and look on the inside and identify the challenges that we have that need to be sorted out. Many of us can identify the challenge in other people, but in ourselves, that is just about impossible.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's easy to diagnose and say, okay, there must be a challenge why you keep having your significant other cheat on you. But why is that so? Why do they keep cheating? Is there something that you need to fix within yourself? Are you making wrong choices? Are you choosing the wrong type of people? What could be the challenge? Let me welcome Red Lipstick. Oh man. Oh my Lord. I feel like a celebrity now. I feel like a celebrity, man. So I'm celebrating my 100 subscriber, and I'm here with Titanium. He's keeping me company. So we're just chopping it up and having some fun over here. Thank you so much for joining Red Lipstick. Thank you so much. Yeah, Ty. So I mean, as I mentioned, it is so hard for us to self-reflect and actually identify the challenges that we have. It's really hard. I think it's like something you have to sit down and meticulously look through and say, okay, what am I doing wrong?
But see, those are moves that introverts make often. I think they're better at self-reflecting than extroverts.
True, because the thing about introverts though, they're basically like always in their head. Because I am an introvert, so that space for you is to be alone, to be at home, to be chilling and thinking. Introverts are basically always thinking. Most of the things that go on in their head, they don't act it out. So they basically have more space, and I can understand your reasoning for that one. You know, they do a lot more thinking, more than actions. Man, I feel like a star. I feel like, as I said it, man. I believe the first 100 is the hardest. You know that I keep that mentality that the first 100 is the hardest, and from here it's just about trying to find good topics to talk about, trying to build a community, and trying to make more of an impression and speak properly. And because, as I said, I'm an introvert. I'm sweating as hell. This is kind of almost like outside of my comfort zone, but it's one of the challenges that I am giving myself. But outside of your comfort zone, you know, speak, just speak your mind. Because here's the thing. Since I've started, there have been so many, especially young men, who keep messaging me and asking for advice. It is not even funny. You know, people
that could be, depending on, how comfortable they are, that could be a good way to put some of that stuff up there. Because let me ask you this: how long did it take you to get your first 100?
I took this up seriously about it would be about December. I think my first video here since I started consistently would be about December.
Okay.
Of 2021. So.
Okay.
But what I realize is when and I've just realized that this is the value of live streams. Live streams tend to generate more views and more subscribers, because usually when I go on a live stream, I would get a 1 here or a 2 there, subscribers. So it keeps adding up. So that is what kind of gives me the drive to, okay, fine. Sometimes even if you have nothing to talk about, sometimes go on unprepared, and even on Red Lipstick's channel, she always has everything well put together, well orchestrated. It's like it is a lot that goes on in the back end for when one of her shows goes live. It's like there's a lot that goes on. Sometimes, I mean, when I come from work, sometimes the vibe is not there. I don't feel it. But hey, I'm just come into your office space, turn on your PC and go live. So that's where I'm at right now.
Man, look, hey, I commend any content creator that puts out content of substance and goes live. Because I know it's not easy. You're trying not to struggle stream. You're trying to make sure everything is right. Hopefully, if you have guests and panel, that they show up on time. Then there's the production piece. And then you're trying to read the chat to keep the chat involved and your guests all at the same time. I guess that's why I ain't did it, because I kind of stink at this whole multitasking thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing again. You learn a lot of stuff, because for some reason, I just had this feeling that, I want to use OBS, and OBS has a steep learning curve. you know,
Mhm.
and I've been able to do some shit with OBS that is like, yeah, like really powerful, you know. So most times I use OBS. However, when I'm using OBS, I cannot have guests on. So whenever I want to have guests, I have to use StreamYard. And that is
Okay.
another thing as well, because as soon as I start rolling properly, I want to start to have the paid version of StreamYard where you have a lot more functionality. You know,
Okay.
there's all of that in there as well.
Okay. Yeah, because the one thing that I did notice, the content creators that do well have like a very unique niche. And there are a couple of people that I watch and their channels have grown really fast.
Man, so yes, of all the content creators out there, Uncle Stu reached out to me when he was at about 300 subscribers, and he said,
Yeah.
"Man, let me take you on this journey." We spoke on Instagram. He said, "Listen, I have the formula. Come with me." You know? Oh man, guess who's coming up?
Oh Lord.
We in trouble now. We got trouble.
Yeah.
We got trouble. You're you're muted, brother.
Man, let me tell you something about Uncle Stu. And I don't know him personally, but man, he has when the way he just introduces people on his show gets you
Yeah.
fired up, man. And let me tell you, Uncle Stu is very, very, very personable. I have emailed him several times, and he has gotten back to me. He has given me feedback, you know, and has replied in some sort of way. So I'm not surprised Uncle Stu got you to do this, because that's just how he is. Because man, Uncle Stu, and I think what it is the cadence of his voice. He has a
Yes.
way of motivating people, and
Yeah.
man, because
Yeah.
on certain streams, man, he be getting fired. I'll be like, yeah, you know,
Trust me, man. Trust me. Trust me.
man, look,
He has a spirit.
man, look,
He has a spirit, man.
I like Uncle Stu. I like Uncle Stu.
He's trust me. He is good, and I mean, he has gotten so much respect from bigger channels than himself. I
Yeah,
mean, when he goes on TLA's podcast, it's like a celebrity touching down. You
yeah,
know, when he
yeah,
goes over to Security Boss, because Security Boss has reached out to me as well, so we have chatted a bit. You know, and trust me, when he goes on those platforms, it's like a celebrity coming up, man. Trust me, he's
yeah,
somebody else. He is somebody else.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He is, man. I like Uncle Stu. I like Uncle Stu. I like, you know what though? I like, and I don't know what it is, but for me personally, I like creators that engage their audience, even if it's, you know, a chat here or a comment there. Now I know for people like TLA, it's not easy. It's not
Yeah,
easy. You know, his
trust
chat,
me.
if he didn't slow the chat down, it'll probably go about 100 miles an hour. It's not easy. But I like the ones that engage their audience and stuff like that. And that's what I think helps keep the channel growing. Because you know, when people are in the chat, you know, they want to feel like somebody. They don't want to be like a number.
Exactly, exactly. You know, Wally, he's muted, man. I don't know if he's trying to talk, but he's muted, and I'm unable to unmute him. Yeah, man. But I mean, trust me. I mean, many of the content creators, and here's the thing: in this sphere, there has been a lot of growth. There has been a lot of growth. There have been so many. There are so many good content creators out there. You know, Security Boss, she is solid, and her presentation is A1. You know,
Yeah.
Black Man Unfiltered, he is solid.
Man, don't
You
get me
know,
started on that dude. That you know what? the first time I saw Black Man Unfiltered, there's another show that I moderate for, and he came up, and so he came up for a little bit, and then he had left, and then the show that I was moderating for was over. Everybody went over there. Black Man Unfiltered is hilarious to me.
Trust me.
He is hilarious to me, especially like the people that give the super chats. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. I mean, it's all fun, and the thing about it is that the way the entire community comes together and support each other,
Yeah.
you know, that is one of the biggest deals for me. Everybody knows everybody.
Right.
Everybody comes up. Hey, how you doing, brother?
What happened to
Oh,
Ty?
why did you kick Ty?
I didn't do nothing.
I guess you're just too powerful, man. Maybe his battery died or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because I told you, give me a moment because I wrote in the back chat, give me a moment until I come
Okay,
up.
sure.
Yeah, that's why I said that. But yeah, I'm ready now.
Yeah, man. So how you been doing?
No, I'm doing all right.
Okay, here's Ty. He's coming back up.
Yeah, there.
Ty,
Yeah. I
Yeah,
hit the
what
wrong
happened?
button. Matter of fact,
Okay,
I'm gonna have to switch to my laptop because my phone is gonna die. So I'm gonna
Okay.
try to make this change as smooth as possible. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Thought your phone was dying or something. Wally came and said the first thing he said was, "I'm gonna give you the boot."
That's because Wally likes to do that. But his Timberlands ain't strong
I
enough,
don't
so
like
he
to do
needs help. Wally Timberlands is not strong enough, so he needs help.
Okay,
Nah.
I see.
No, that's not true. I'll help another.
Yeah, man. Well, I woke up this morning to the understanding that we were on the verge of World War. How much is it now? World War III.
From
Yeah.
who?
Man, we're going crazy, man. The
No,
world is
we not there yet, man. We not there yet.
yeah.
Don't
World War
yeah.
III from who?
Oh, over this whole Nancy Pelosi issue with her going to Taiwan.
Oh,
You know, it's
Yeah,
you should be worrying about what they did to the Irans. I heard there was a drone over there that shot someone. Well, that deleted someone.
Oh yeah, that was the leader for the same the same sect that Bin Laden was the leader of, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they deleted his second in command,
Mhm.
or the leader after he went missing.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I guess that, but honestly, we're living in serious times. It is what it is. We will continue to survive. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're near. You know, as Ty said, I don't think we're near all of that as yet.
Yeah, I don't.
But man,
They're not-
politics is not our strong suit. We have to leave those for the the people that be. And I guess we gotta, you know,
Yeah.
just make sure that we, you know, keep it. Question, guys. Sorry. What do you think about there's this I'm trying to remember her name. Pearly Things, Just Pearl. Have any of you seen her content?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Here and
What do
there.
you guys what do you guys think about her situation? Because, well, I wouldn't say situation. Her presentations, because she comes across as one of the persons who most of her content is about empower. Well, the the things that women are seen to be doing, being ungrateful, not being feminine, and so on.
See, here's my thing, right, on that stuff. See, and I don't know for sure, right? Because at least for her, and then mostly all the other females panels that talk about relationships and all this, and them being morally men than women in one way or not. But my thing is this, and this is just my view. I could be wrong, could be right. But when I listen to her commentary on this whole thing, she's just like a rinse and repeat of everybody else, just with a group of people. My thing is, we constantly sit here and say, well, women should talk to women about women stuff to restructure them in a better sense of being in a relationship, and men should talk to men stuff about men being better in relationships. But every single time I hear something, it's like y'all only sticking towards a very vast, like, we already know the talking points. It's time for you to start working within the talking points to develop a more centralized conversation. And it's like they constantly just rinse and repeating the whole vibe. So it's like y'all not really doing nothing. Y'all just biting off what someone else already made and then just reproducing it.
Exactly.
And that's my problem with a lot of these female content creators. So it's just, I can care less. That's why I'm listening.
My thing is, Hey,
Just Flash.
Yep.
Yeah,
I saw an interview, one of the last interviews Kevin Samuels did. He was talking to another content creator, and he told her, if you really want to make a difference in this space, you need to get married. And so I see a lot of like single people speaking to relationships, but I don't see nobody moving the goalposts and going to that next step. I don't see anybody doing that.
Man,
I see a lot of people going on dates, but I don't see a lot of people coming together. And so I would like to see more people come together.
That's powerful, brother.
Say what now?
No, I'm saying that.
So you know why they won't see it? Oh no, I think he's asking me basically.
No. What I'm saying is that's some powerful speech right there. That's a strong argument. You know, and one of the persons that I follow, he is also a Jamaican streamer, and he has been on the he's in the comments on Equal Perspective TV. You know, this gentleman has been married for quite a number of years, and he 100% advocates for marriages and weddings and all of that. He's coming from a Christian background, and I mean, when I speak to him, he's saying that he has a mathematical, scientific, and spiritual way of choosing his wife, and he says his strategy worked, and he's been married for over, I think, about 16 going on 17 years now. You know, so basically I believe marriages do happen, but sometimes the institution of marriage right now is getting a beating. You know, the institution of marriage is not seen as a positive at this moment. So many people seem to be shying away from that. He's saying 15 going on 16.
There you go. There it is right
going
there.
On 16.
There it is right there.
You know, but marriage is not. I mean, when I was growing up in my part of the country here in Jamaica, man, marriages was seen as, when you see a married person, you will look up to that person because you would see him and his wife. You have an understanding of what marriage is. No, I believe there's been a great breakdown. You know, there can be many reasons behind it, you know, but I mean, what we're seeing is that there seems to be a breakdown in marriage and not enough people pushing and encouraging young people to get married. You know, I was speaking today with a couple of gentlemen because I want to bring a couple of married people on my program one of these days, people that I know personally, and chop it up a bit. I know a young gentleman, he's been married for less than 6 months. And there's another gentleman that I work closely with. He's been married for going on maybe 8 years, and speak to some married people and, get the understanding that marriage works. It takes a lot of sacrifice. It takes a lot of understanding of the other person, but it works.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing because nobody wants to sacrifice anymore.
Yeah. I think because we're living in a world where it is me, we have a me mentality. So that in itself, that mentality is not conducive to a successful marriage. Because if you're going off what the Bible says the man should leave his family and cleave to his wife and they become one. Now, if you think of being one with somebody, that is some powerful thing you're talking about. Being one with somebody is powerful. When I think of being one with somebody, I think of a Siamese twin. If you go left, everybody going left. If you go right, everybody going right. You have to eat together. So what one eats, it benefits both parties. I think of a marriage as a Siamese twin. So I mean, that just shows the power of what marriage should be. And I was never an advocate for marriage. It is just now over the past couple of years I've been saying, you know what? Yeah, I think it works out. So that's just
I'm looking in the chat.
okay.
But yeah,
And
For me-
no, this, he's saying he got married before the attack of the feminist version 3.0 movement. So he can appreciate why men are hesitant to get married in today's climate. So, Wally, do you think men are naturally hesitant to get married right now?
Honestly, most of them not. Yeah, probably. I mean, you have to really think about the variables in this, right? It's like based upon the variables and everything else of that nature, it's always going to be somewhat of a hesitant ideal. I mean, if you're not getting a sure thing where most of everything you can think of is checked off, then yeah, you're going to be hesitant. You're always going to be thinking like, do I really want to do this? You're always going to sit there and ask, do I really want to do this? Because whatever box circle you have, if it ain't checked off and one of them or like a few of them is more important than the rest, it's like if they're not checked off, it's like you ain't going to sell yourself to it. So
yeah. What about you, Ty? What do you think?
I think what it is it's no one takes the institution of marriage seriously anymore. And I think, because it's so easy for people to get married and divorce. And it's like people treat it like casual dating. And a lot of that has to do with the community, because back in the day, you couldn't just casually divorce your spouse. You would be ostracized by the community at large. So people kind of stayed together. And then don't even let me go to cultures that pay dowries. Your family would encourage you to stay together because they didn't want you to pay back that money.
Yeah.
They didn't want to pay back that money. They didn't want to have to, whether if they gave livestock or they gave cash itself, the family didn't want to give that up. So you would be encouraged to kind of stay together. But now, not so much. Now it's like, okay, hey, Reverend so-and-so, can you marry us? We're ready to get married. Okay. They're so quick to marry people. And then it's like, hey, Your Honor, Judge, Lead Attorney, we want a divorce. Well, why you want to get a divorce? We just can't get along. Okay. Well, I'll write you up a divorce. And I mean, it's getting to the point now where some states, you used to have to file a fault divorce. You could either file a fault divorce or a no fault divorce. Some states have gotten away with that. The only way you can divorce now is if you file no fault. That's the only way. They don't want to hear about why you didn't get along. They just want to hear, okay, you guys aren't getting along. Okay, what assets do you have? Okay, did you guys divvy up the assets? You did? Great. Next thing, are there any children? Oh, you guys got 2 kids? Okay. Joint. They don't even have, some of these states don't even have custody hearings anymore. It's just automatic joint custody unless you can prove that the other parent is a negligent parent. So they don't even want to do that anymore. They just want to make sure that the child is going to be, okay. They're going to act in the best interest of the child, but they're not going to, well, I need to have joint custody. I mean, I need to have full custody because it is. Well, I need to be primary because it is. They don't even want to hear that anymore. So it's like, we microwave marriage and now we're microwaving divorce.
Is there money to be made though from when families get divorced, when 2 people get divorced? On the part of the government, the U.S. government.
Oh yeah,
of course. Hell yeah.
Yeah, somebody's paying child support.
Lawyers win. Government win.
Man, and please don't say that word, child support.
Oh yeah, because there's kickbacks that go up. From the federal level to the state level, they get there's checks involved and stuff like that. There's what do they call it? I guess subsidy. I guess you would call it a subsidy.
Subsidies,
for all the child support that's collected. Because I mean, if you look at it like this, you have to tell the 2 parties have to agree. So like if I know I'm a dad and I'm gonna have to pay support for me, I would make it so that I would request that the courts would consider letting me pay the mother directly versus me paying the child support agency, and then the agency takes a little bit off the top, and then they give wherever else to the parent.
Wow. So that's how it works?
In some cases, yes. I know that so like a lot of women, you hear a lot of women complaining that the man is not paying enough child support. But here's what you don't hear, and this is where it really gets tricky. So it gets tricky if the man has multiple kids by multiple mothers, because they'll only take away so much of his check, right? And it's capped off. So whereas if the man only had 1 child, the mother would receive a larger amount of money, but it starts getting complicated when he has multiple baby mamas. That's one thing. The other thing is if the mother has received like welfare benefits. So now the child support agency has to get involved. So when the dad could be paying $1,500 a month, but because the mother is getting welfare benefits, she may only receive $500 a month, because the state's going to want their money first.
So it's not about the child. It's not even about the child.
No, it never is.
And well, here's the thing. In Jamaica though, I wonder, because the way our system works is when it comes to child support, once you go to the court, it's an automatic DNA testing. And there is nothing that goes forward until it is proven that that child is yours. So for someone who has gone through the courts and is paying child support, it is a guarantee that that is his child. The clincher though is that I think it's close to 70%. We have a like 70% where the child who has been brought to the father who has been brought to court for child support is not the actual father. So that's the challenge we have here. Do you want me to remove the one you had before, Ty?
Oh, I just left that one, so it should be disappearing shortly.
Okay, good.
So in the case of paternity fraud, I mean, let's just be real. A lot of guys don't make enough to pay lawyers' fees, so they try to go in, they try to fight themselves, and they get railroaded. At least in my opinion, from what I've seen, they get railroaded. So, I mean, you know, to kind of you should be able to get representation. If you can't get representation, you're kind of at the mercy of the judge and everything. And so you're gonna have to produce a strong case. But you know, in some cases, if the judge has a chip on their shoulder, or I'll give you another example. I don't know, have you ever been in like traffic court or some sort of court where the judge seems like they're in a really good mood, and then they get to this one person that just messes everything up and just sets the judge off.
And yep.
And in that case, it's your case.
And everybody after that is getting the tip of the spear.
Man, I've been in traffic court. So I've been in traffic court a few times where the judge is giving out, oh, you know what? You're just going to driving school. You're just going to driving school. Pay a $25 fine. You're just getting to driving school. And here comes this one guy who says something off the cuff. That guy gets a $200 fine. And then it comes to you. Now your case is next. And you're like, oh, man, this judge is in a bad mood.
Yep.
So, you know, you try to be as nice as you can, but you still get a little hammered. You know, he may not hit you with a $200 fine. He may hit you with $75 instead of the $25 he didn't gave the first 4 people. So
yeah, you went and spoiled the judge's day, man. Now the judge is having a bad day, and if the judge is having a bad day, everybody's having a bad day.
Right.
Everybody's having a bad day. All right, fellas. Thank you so much for coming up, man. Thank you so much for coming up. It's my 100 subscriber stream. 100. First major milestone on YouTube, and I'm gonna keep going until I get to that magical 1,000, and then the real work starts.
Oh yeah.
All right. So thank you so much, guys, for coming up as usual, man. Always great chatting with you guys.
Yep.
Always great chopping it up with you guys. And say hi to Amethyst when you see her. And Ty, remember that last stream we had?
Here we go.
You remember that last comment?
Yeah, the one you got stuck in and then you cut the show off.
The one that I did and then cut the show off. Yes, that one.
You're a wild boy. You're a wild boy.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming up, man. Rich, thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. We're here. We're doing the work. We're putting it in. You know, soon start getting the numbers that you are getting at the moment.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll catch up again. All right.
Yep.
All right. So good. Leave the studio.